Said contribution enables Terrebonne manufacturing business to modernize its production and engage in international marketing efforts to remain competitive. Today, Tatiana Auguste, Member of Parliament for Terrebonne, announced, on behalf of the Honourable Melanie Joly, Minister of Industry and Mines. The Competition Bureau is inviting Canadians to provide comments on its proposed merger enforcement guidelines. This follows an initial consultation held as part of the Bureau's review of its merger guidance in November 2024. The proposed guidelines update and change the guidelines issued in 2011 to BET. Said contribution will enable Longueuil manufacturing business to increase its productivity in order to remain competitive. Today, Sherry Romanadou, Member of Parliament for Longueuil Charles Lemoyne and Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of National Defence, is announcing, on behalf of the ONU. Said contribution will enable Trois-Rivières manufacturing business to improve its productivity and increase its production capacity in order to support its growth and remain competitive. Today, Caroline Desrochers, Member of Parliament for Trois-Rivières and Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister O. The contraband and unauthorized items seized included hashish and tobacco. The total estimated institutional value of this seizure is $51,600. The Correctional Service of Canada uses a number of tools to prevent drugs from entering its institutions. These tools include ion scanners and drug detecto. Today, at the 30th United Nations Climate Change Conference in Belém, Brazil, the Honourable Julie Debrucin, Minister of Environment and Climate Change, announced a total investment of $392 million for international climate action projects, advancing Canada's commitment to global climate leadership. The Honourable Anita Anand, Minister of Foreign Affairs, today met with Marco Rubio, the United States Secretary of State, during the G7 Foreign Ministers meeting in the Niagara region. Minister Anand and Secretary of State Rubio discussed the strong Canada-United States partnership and cooperation. The Honourable Anita Anand, Minister of Foreign Affairs, today met with Andriy Sybiha, Ukraine's Minister of Foreign Affairs, at the G7 Foreign Ministers meeting in the Niagara region. Minister Anand and Minister Sybiha discussed Ukraine's economic and governance reforms, as well as the joint effort. The Honourable Anita Anand, Minister of Foreign Affairs, today met with Antonio Tajani, Italy's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, during the G7 Foreign Ministers meeting in the Niagara region. During the meeting, Minister Anand highlighted Canada's participation in security. The inmate's next of kin have been notified. As in all cases involving the death of an inmate, the Correctional Service of Canada will review the circumstances. CSC policy requires that the police and the coroner be notified. Timmins, the Minister of Energy and Natural Resources, the Honourable Tim Hodgson, will make an announcement regarding clean energy and critical minerals. A media availability will follow. Time 3 p.m. Eastern Time. All accredited media are asked to pre-register by emailing media@nrcan.gc.ca no later than 1. Notes for media. Budget 2025. Canada's Strongies our plan to transform our economy from one that is reliant on a single trade partner to one that is stronger, more self-sufficient, and more resilient to global shocks. This budget is a plan to enable $1 trillion in investments over the next 5 years. This is a plan for we, the G7 Foreign Ministers of Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States of America, and the High Representative of the European Union, met under Canada's G7 presidency, in Niagara, on November 11 to 12, 2025. We welcomed the participation of the Foreign Minister. The items seized included tobacco, marijuana, and shatter, as well as a cell phone and cell phone accessory. The total estimated institutional value of this seizure is $151,069. The Correctional Service of Canada has heightened measures to prevent contraband from entering its institutions in order. The Honourable Recky Valdez, Minister of Women and Gender Equality and Secretary of State, will highlight a Budget 2025 investment in personal support workers. A media availability will follow the event. Time 5:30 p.m. Location, Philippine Canadian Centre of Manitoba 737 Keewatin Street Winnipeg, Montney. Museums protect our history and celebrate our culture and diversity by fostering knowledge and inspiring pride and creativity. Investing in cultural spaces brings communities together and strengthens our economy and our identity. Today, Chris Biddle, Member of Parliament, announced funding of $200. Media are invited to C-SPAN's Vancouver shipyards. The Honourable Melanie Joly, Minister of Industry, on behalf of David J. McGuinty, Minister of National Defence, will celebrate the acceptance of the Canadian Coast Guard ship Naluk Napaluk. Media must register by November 12 at 4 p.m. PST. Please send. Budget 2025, Canada strongies our plan to transform our economy from one that is reliant on a single trade partner to one that is stronger, more self-sufficient, and more resilient to global shocks. This budget is a plan to enable $1 trillion in investments over the next 5 years. This is a Plan FO. The Government of Canada is building the strongest economy in the G7, an economy rooted in Canadian workers, Canadian materials, and Canadian innovation. As global trade becomes more uncertain, we are choosing to build our strength at home. Last September, the Prime Minister, Mark Carney, announced a Notes this event is for accredited members of the press gallery only. Media who are not members of the press gallery may contact pressers 2 at parliamentgc.cafe or temporary access. The inmates' next of kin have been notified. As in all cases involving the death of an inmate, the Correctional Service of Canada will review the circumstances. CSC policy requires that the police and the coroner be notified. Bienvenue Olivier Ntumba, Member of Parliament for Mont-Saint-Bruno-Lacadie, invites media representatives to visit a Longueuil business that specializes in the design, manufacture, and marketing of lifting solutions for assembly plants. He will take the opportunity to highlight a said financial contract. For immediate release during the above periods, the boardwalk will remain open to pedestrians and cyclists. The Alexandra Bridge is at the end of its service life, and as such, regular interventions are required to ensure its continued safety. The planned maintenance work includes welding repairs on. The ministers discussed the importance of the defense and trade relationship between Canada and France to meet the challenges of today's world, including through the promotion of industrial collaboration. In particular, they underscored joint efforts to strengthen transatlantic security, deepen DEF. Media representatives are invited to visit a business that specializes in the manufacture of custom-made stainless steel furniture along with Stéphane Lauzon, Member of Parliament for Argenteuil-La Petite-Nation. Mr. Lauzon will take the opportunity to highlight a said financial contribution for the said contribution will enable Magog manufacturing business to increase its productivity and modernize its production in order to remain competitive. Today, Louis Villeneuve, Member of Parliament for Brome-Missisquoi, is announcing, on behalf of the Honourable Melanie Joly, Minister of Industry and me. These funds, which are being raised through the generosity of Canadians, will help the Red Cross movement to support critical humanitarian needs including emergency health services as well as other essential support to impacted communities. Secretary of State Sarai also announced that Canada is Prov. On September 17 and 26, Border Services officers from the Montreal Marine and Rail Services made 2 seizures of cannabis destined for export, totaling 2,723 kilograms. In both cases, the cannabis was intended to be transported to the UK. The largest seizure in terms of quantity was made on September 17. Sherry Romanadou, Member of Parliament for Longueuil Charles Lemoyne and Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of National Defence, invites media representatives to visit a Longueuil business that specializes in the manufacture and distribution of products for the electricity transmission and distribute. Budget 2025, Canada strongies our plan to transform our economy from one that is reliant on a single trade partner to one that is stronger, more self-sufficient, and more resilient to global shocks. This budget is a plan to enable $1 trillion in investments over the next 5 years. This is a plan for. Tatiana Auguste, Member of Parliament for Terrebonne, invites media representatives to visit a Terrebonne SME that specializes in engineering and developing electrical and electronic solutions to meet the needs of the automobile and railway sectors. She will take the opportunity to highlight a said The Government of Canada is committed to appointing highly qualified candidates who are able to best serve the interests of Canadians, through open, transparent, and merit-based selection processes for all Governor and Council appointments. Mr. Dwight Ball was appointed to the Canada Development Investment Corporation's Board of Directors in February 2023. Previously, he was Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador from 2015 to 2020, where he led the provincial government through a major reshaping of its economic and social programs. Prior. Budget 2025, Canada Strongies our plan to transform our economy from one that is reliant on a single trade partner to one that is stronger, more self-sufficient, and more resilient to global shocks. This budget is a plan to enable $1 trillion in investments over the next 5 years. This is a plan for changes in the global trading system are causing massive disruptions and uncertainty for Canadians. The world has changed, and Canada's economic strategy must change. Budget 2025, Canada Strongies our plan to transform our economy from one that is reliant on a single trade partner to one that is strong. The Honourable Anita Anand, Minister of Foreign Affairs, today announced that Canada is imposing additional sanctions under the Special Economic Measures regulations. Canada's new measures further increase the economic costs on Russia for its unprovoked and unjustified invasion of Ukraine by Targety.